Kraken is out crunching the numbers on Aussies and cryptos. Apparently new figures are suggesting 1 in 5 Aussies think crypto is the secret to home ownership. So is that a spruik or a new reality? Let's take us through it all. We welcome back Jonathon Miller, Kraken Australian MD. I'm sure 20 years ago the secret was a lottery ticket. Is this the new version?
I think people who are looking at the property market and watching, I guess the let's call it feverish prices, are wondering how they can get in, especially millennials. And it's not just 1 in 5; it's actually 2 in 5 millennials think that investing in crypto is a better investment than property. And I think it's because of the context, not because of the luck you might need to win big, and it's more the differential and the fact that you can get into crypto with as little as $50, but you sure can't do that with property.
Oh, okay. So especially not right now.
No.
But so what is the deal? I mean, if you're doing this type of research, so who is it that you're speaking with? How many of them are already in crypto? How many have lost money through crypto or gained money already?
So there's some really interesting statistics that we've dug out of this research, and we spoke to a representative sample of Australians, and what we found is that, and I was surprised at this, 1 in 5 Australians already have crypto. They've got exposure, and a great majority of those are sitting on gains. So we're really interested in what people are thinking about, and what we found is that the majority of people who are not yet in crypto are not there mainly because they don't understand it. Um, Boomers think it's too volatile, but everyone else doesn't understand enough. They don't necessarily think that it's too volatile for them. I guess they're playing with smaller numbers, you see. And this is an entry level investment for people. And it's native to them. They understand digital much better than perhaps even me. So younger people are looking at crypto as an alternative, but they're also sitting on some gains, and that's really fascinating.
The gains may still be lost because I remember friends of mine actually lost their house deposit betting on the Nasdaq, which then of course corrected in 1999. So a bit fresh memory for me, I guess. Could this be the next sort of wave of, yes, you start off with $50, then you've got 50 grand. When do you pull the plug and actually use it for that house or whatever it is you plan to do?
I think you'd be lucky to get away with a house for a $50,000 deposit these days. The thing is, what people are looking at is a brick wall as high as the sky when it comes to access to property as an investment in Australia. And the idea of investing in a REIT is not very familiar to people. It doesn't really make sense to people. What people think about when they think about property, they think about bricks and mortar and living in it, and that's the dream. That's too far. It's not accessible. So what are other people looking at? Young people are looking at alternative investment types, and predominantly they're looking at crypto.
So, Jonathon, where do we take this research from here in the context of the Bitcoin conference in Miami? Bitcoin being adopted by El Salvador as a currency, and Dogecoin guy who got up on stage. I mean, still, there is a bit of improvement in PR that needs to happen around digital assets. No.
Yeah, I would agree that some of the video footage I've been seeing coming out of Miami, maybe it's a post-pandemic rush of blood to the head in terms of the people who are being let out, let off the leash there. Look, I think the rest of the crypto world is actually pretty sober about the asset class. In fact, if anything, the opportunities for disruption in the traditional lending space are the ones that are opening up now. And some of the big growth areas have been around these layers, these decentralized banking kind of infrastructure layers, and that's a really fascinating area for both investment and exploration. And I'm seeing a lot of activity there from VC, but also from people in and out of the crypto space. So that's the future. That's over the horizon. Is can you beat the banks at their own game with this stuff? And that was always the intention for blockchain. Really, is to be a significant marginal efficiency gain on the processes that we understand the banking sector to be reliant on. So can we compete with them with infrastructure and technology? And I think you can. So right now we're still in a bit of a feverish moment when it comes to what crypto means for the individual, but it's inevitable that there are going to be other ways for you to leverage investments and assets, and some of those things are undoubtedly crypto.
degree of crypto is for, trying to be outside the circle. If it becomes more legitimized, will that actually lose some people while they then go look for the next big thing?
Potentially, but I think there's a lot more people who are more conservative who are now turning to this asset class. I mean, essentially, the 21% of the millennials who are planning to buy cryptocurrency in the next 12 months, 84% already have some. So they've experienced this explosive movement, and they're comfortable with seeing what happens over the long run. They might have been in here the last couple of years, so it's a longer term story for them, and it is zooming out for them. They're not so uneducated to know that financial markets can be volatile, and you have to be really savvy when it comes to and understand the risks involved when it comes to this space, which is utterly experimental. But at the same time, there are every second week there's more news about that kind of institutional story, and I don't think that's turning people away. I think it's doing the opposite.
All right. Well, that's some pretty interesting research that you brought to the fore. We appreciate your time as always, Jonathon. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you.